Hey, you guys, it's MJ from Alta Love. How are you? So today I am just going live. I did a quick little share on Facebook about actually kind of like a testimonial email from one of you about spirituality simplified and um, I guess what's really beautiful is just being joyful and happy and content with life, like being pretty peaceful, happy-go-lucky folk, and then finding a product or finding a person or whatever that sort of unlocks this greater potential within us. And that can often just be from gentle support, or that can be from little intuitive nudgings that are saying like keep going or there's more or um yeah, just greater ease and joy and abundance, and we all have access to this. We all have that potential to drop into that state of being. And I guess we have to take the leap. We have to endeavor it for ourselves to then, at different points along the way, kind of look around us and be like, wow, other people are joining in, or other people are, wanting to also just sit back and enjoy the ride. And ultimately, in a way, what that means is that we as as a species on this planet, we're beginning to, well, we know this, rise into our creatorship. And again, it's simple stuff. It's like we're just becoming more aware of how to take care of ourselves. And that feels better. That feels more joyful, and the fact that we've been collectively programmed to deny and fear the body. And that is both really overt and covert programming around the enslavement system of us not having any conscious control over our bodies. Like our bodies just get sick every 2 years, or um, our bodies just degenerate and die. And there's an element. Hey, Stephen, how are you? There is a, and that is so in spirituality simplified, the interview with Sasha, he talks about that Atlantean fire. And this relates to stuff Kurt talks about our debt-based economy. A debt-based economy is based on debt, it's based on lack, it's based on sort of dominating and stealing energy from earth and then her people, right? And so as we kind of lift the veil and awaken from that dream spell of living under the rule of darkness, we begin to remember, and this is all part of what we're really traversing here now. That's why we're moving to the quantum financial system. I would be interested in knowing more about what that looks like. um the quantum financial system, I'm curious about that. Because there does feel like a bottoming out and an imminent sort of financial collapse. And imminent, I'm like, over the next 8 years, at some point there will be a complete shapeshift of the economy, right? And you could say this is a direct reflection of what's happening inside of us. We're finding a more harmonious, less conflicted, less despairing relationship with ourselves. We're all rising into sort of a sense of greater worth and understanding, kind of shining light a corrupted financial system, going, guys, this sucks. It's that thing of no one is free if anyone's oppressed, or that kind of sense that the more of us that are following the compassionate heart, living in our integrity and desiring to the best of our ability to live in that right action, that then that act from within the self, the human being, more and more of us, is what, it's like pulling the Lego, not Lego, what's that game? Jenga. It's like pulling the Jenga blocks out. Eventually that that tower we all built together is going to come down, and then we'll just pick up the pieces and move forward, right? And yet this is so it's interesting, Stephen, you being here and mentioning that's why we're moving into the quantum financial system. So what does that look like? What I'm aware of the digital stuff. I'm aware of like the Bitcoin, and I don't know, the it's I'm not fully invested in that. I'm not, because I'm not um in my intuition around money and the financial system. It doesn't feel like anything's landed for personally. Hi, Jacqueline. How are you? Um, and then that makes me feel that, like, okay, so that's because we're still working on it. We're still working it out. We're still allowing that divine blueprint to let itself be known, to rise up from within us, to let us walk in that divinity, and then everything will kind of reflect a basically a higher financial system where manifestation yeah, manifestations instantaneous. That's it, Stephen. Like, that is it. That is like the vibrashe. That is the quantum. That is and that reflection. I'm just like, yeah, precisely. It was only like a random like not sure that I might not know. I'm like, quantum financial system. Yes, Nasada Gazada. What is this? What up? I've never heard these words before. I'm intrigued. I'm totally intrigued. Hi, Rochelle. How are you? Nasara. Is it something that I should be looking up? I'm not sure. But I feel you as far as the sort of, and this has been part of the love mish to me, is that I'm like, why isn't everyone just provided for? Why we live in enough, most nations are compliant already with Nasara. I don't know what Nasara is, you guys, but I'm definitely curious. I could do some research. I could look it up. Um, you guys teach me so much. Oh, I'm fascinated. And I don't know if it makes a difference, but like my early awakenings. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I Economic Security and Reformation Act. Interesting. I'm feeling into something here with a little bit of space. Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, National Economic Security and Reformation Act. Thank you. They will. So you're saying they will be compliant? It's a game plan for a national and global money system that is for the people. Okay, okay. So it's happening, and this is a good thing. So this is, and so this goes back to the compassionate piece of who wants to live in a world where the majority of people go hungry and starve and da 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 da, and then our privilege is based on their enslavement and war, like warmongering, right? So it's like that's what we're shifting into, is like, hey, if you're born on this planet, you absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, deserve to eat and have a house and like have all the resources you need to live the life you want to live. And in right action, that's the whole point of new paradigm, right? It's in alignment with all. It's in alignment with the good of all. Hey, Reveille Records, how are you? Okay, great. Like, OMG, this is why I love showing up here. It's like intuitive aspects, and then you guys just confirm or affirm the actual physical manifestation of certain kind of intuitive nudgings. So we're just basically shifting we're upgrading the system. That's like happening right now. And yeah, I am for sure. Yes, money is based on gold out of Africa. We'll start with USA, Canada. Oh, I love you guys. Um so the whole oh god, it's gonna be huge, eh? At the same time, it's gonna Zimbabwe. I'm pretty sure that's where so there's some good stuff going on in Africa as well, eh? Like really good like again, not sure why I'm saying it, but like that's the intuition piping up here. There's some really good stuff happening in Africa. I think again, there's some organized collective risings. So that makes me think that there's actually again like little pockets of the world that are just totally new paradigm. And actually sometimes what we're talking about is more the bridge process, is this transitional bridging phase, which I suppose part of me wants to share a lot because of the intensity of it. And if we share from the other if we share from the other side, it makes it less scary for people. That's it's always been like that in my vision, that the more of us, once we anchor in the awakening energy, um yeah, Jacqueline, right? This is the sense of like now all of the millions and or billions of oppressed people on the planet are starting to go hold the phone. We're is enough. And there's this is part, I would say, of that energy, the tidal turn energy, the rising of the empath, this huge collective of humans who have broken people pleasing patterns, which are subtle abuse, emotionally abusive and mentally abusive patterns. So as we break free from those, that on the again the bigger level is like a huge mass of humans going enough. And we know that with the light, vibrashe, with the awareness of the light that we are, it's like literally just standing down the darkness. It's like knowing the truth of the darkness. And you're like, yeah, and or like that what I've been saying lately, I've been saying with my friend, like, Earth Alliance cleaning up, hells to the Izza. Oh, it's like when you're facing the darkness, either within or just even talking about any potential projection of evil or darkness or warmongering, like out there, basically like to the like a word to our oppressors, or a word to the elites or the rulers who are who are not who are not truly in service to the heart of humanity. It's like, I call your bluff. It's like, you don't have any power over us. You know that to be true. You're playing on the dark team, and we're light, and we can see through it. We can see through it. And that's the calling of the bluff, which collapses it instantly and helps us transition, right? Oh, you guys, Earth Alliance cleanup. Boom. I love this. I love this sort of like revolutionary activity here. It's beautiful. Hi, Deborah Clark. How are you? You guys are amazing. You guys are all friends as well, which I absolutely adore. So, let's see if there's anything else coming through for this morning's share. The last few mornings, I've had like 50 minutes and then like an hour and 20 minutes here, just like chatting to you guys. It's so fun. Yeah, it's like awakening, the awakening. The awakening is starting to really like up level as far as like anchoring in the awarenesses of these awakenings and these veils and these different languages around it. Oh, that's something that somebody requested that I do, is make a glossary of words, because I short form a lot of words and I make stuff up as well. And I think we could make stuff up in just the new paradigm language as we reprogram our consciousness, right? And our mind, and how we communicate and dialogue. I think there will be continuously a refined focus on language communication, and certainly the alignment of the energy field, so that more and more and more and more of us can be vibrating in that resonant chamber, and ultimately radiating that frequency, the clarity and cleanness out. And then, um, and then that is ultimately, thanks you guys, that is ultimately what continues to create, right? Because it's partly the language, of course, the programming, TV. It's woven in the language, and yet I think the more present we are, the more naturally the language shapeshifts to serve us in our new vibration. And to remember that it really is like the intention. This is, as an empath at this stage in the game, I don't listen with my ears. And in fact, I'm feeling with my entire beingness when someone's talking, or an email and or a message. Like it's feeling the resonance of that exchange versus like, okay, that's what you said, sure. Brr, brr, brr. And that's, I guess, part of the skill of a intuitive, or a life coach. I'm not a fan of certain labels, but working with people, what you're picking up on is the subtle energies. They might be saying, "Oh yeah, 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 I'm meditating," or "Oh well, yeah, 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 I'm listening to that," but then you can feel these like little blockages, you could say, in the energy, which mentally we've been so programmed, we just bulldoze over. There it is, bulldoze over those energies, because energy is so subtle, right? Thank you, Jacqueline. Oh, you guys, Justin, wonderful. I've been doing these early morning shares like for a while, pretty consistently at this time as well, unless I'm traveling. So if I'm in Bali and I'm doing the early morning share, it's like 8 hours ahead. So it would actually be your morning time. But so Jacqueline's saying with these new solar rays, more people are awakening. Well, and I'm pretty sure I can feel it. It's like intuitive knowing when there's certain waves coming up. There's like my personal karma clearing ancestry stuff that can come up and be exposed to be released. Lots of that, lots of diligence right now. A lot of mental diligence and self-love is happening here right now. Um and then what did you say? And then the awakening, and then with the solar rays. Yeah. And so I'm aware that like there's these, our person, like we're still just doing the work. We're still just like on the path and doing the work that some of us been doing for decades, right? But then it's becoming more familiar, and so we're anchoring. It's like we're anchoring and vibrating that new way of being just more dominantly. And then the waves are and the solar rays, so that's our connection. That's our beautiful divine um union connection with the sun, right? And those light rays are ultimately ushering this awakening. You could say as well, we're not that special. We're just beings in this solar system who are like, guys, 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 there's gonna be some really radical shit happening on planet Earth. Let's go down for the party. Let's go down for the ride. And I swear sometimes a lot of us have been like, like in the darkness, just to get to a point to be like, woo, like we could just enjoy ourselves and have loads of fun. Jacqueline, there's no jobs for us. We are the light. No, you're right. And that's the part of our brief communication and sharing, and um uh, I want to go like, I want to do this. I want to like bring it out of people, share. And YouTube isn't, no, you're right. Like this isn't, we're not all meant to do the same stuff. Um and we have a lot within us to share and put out there, right? And that's, again, that's the like dance of not to be hard on ourselves, not to beat ourselves up. And in a way, it's so amazing, right? Like the jobs, I'm so kind of sitting with a lot of that energy, is that we're not going back. So even if we're in some financial trickery right now, whatever's happening on the collective, a lot of us as light workers, it's that it is divine. We're being guided through this shift. It's a financial shift. It's a money. So you think you're worthy? Let me take everything away from you and then see if you're still worthy. So let's just be there. Let's be in the presence of the lack, of the nothingness, of the fear, of all the times we bottom out in the past, or all the times we were told you're not good enough, or you should get a job. You need to get a fucking job. And you're like, well, we know in the truth of the beingness that that working force isn't in alignment anymore with where the planetary activity is going. It's our creativity. We know this. So it's our books, it's our writing, it's our speaking, it's our sharing. And how do we know what that elixir point of creativity is for the self? It's timeless. That's what we're moving. New paradigm is moving us into timelessness, spacelessness, no money, no war, no destructive domination and control. So what is the antidote? What is the not thatness? It's the I amness. It's the I am the creator, and my creativity is my service to the world. My joy is my service to the world. And intuitively, all I know from personal experience is intuitively we will be guided. But it can be scary facing the emptiness and or the enslavement and or the yet more densities that come up when we bottom out, or when we bottom out over and over again and we're just like, what the fuck? But remember, our manifestation really happens in those moments of going, enough. It's not, we're not necessarily manifesting. It's sort of paradoxical. We're not necessarily like manifesting our dream life when we're out like swimming on the beach. Our manifestations are total, and they're happening continuous on a continuum of our own experience, collectively and individually. And so that continuum is what allows us to keep learning about manifestation, and then keep permissioning ourselves to step into those manifestations, because for a lot of us, the energies that we're working with, and that means also like the awareness that we are in these bodies in this world, is um like nothing we've ever experienced in our memory of being, because there's been so much pain and darkness. So the memory of our beingness is now being unlocked by higher consciousness. This is us really merging with the higher self, with the intuition, with our advanced technology, to continue to move us through into these more elevated human realms, which again, simply put, we feel better in these bodies. We're learning from a holistic perspective rather than a false perspective of separation. We align ourselves with the human heart and the unity of feeling, because that is our gateway to this unified field, is being able to feel the experience that we're having and not live in denial of it. Once more of us can vibrate that, we begin to radiate that unified field, and people, no matter what, when they come into our resonance, they can't help to almost, unless there is just so much resistance that they're gonna bounce out, and almost hurt themselves in doing so, that people, that when they even just come into our presence field, they align, i.e., they start to flow better, they start to feel better, they might potentially have more expansive thought form, they might lead themselves down this beautiful kind of creative tunnel. And then that's something else to continue for us, is to surround ourselves with the people that reflect that bioresonance, i.e., that regenerative, loving, compassionate place. Because in that place, you can be a chillin' duvet day, eating some vegan sweets and smoking jays, and you can be totally at peace with that person that at one time you would have tried to shove to the corner and told that was a bad person. And then flip it around, and then we can have this. So this is just a lesson in detachment. It's that the more expansive and loving we are, but from the silent void, we can accept the polarity of our own existence. In accepting and loving the polarity of our existence, we can walk in our truth, and that's what we're all endeavoring to do here. And then this is why, early on, you guys, you can scroll back and see Stephen mentioning the shift in the economy and the quantum financial system, as he puts it. This is fantastic. This totally aligns with the feeling sense of we're moving into some great avenues, some great expansions with the human collective. And one thing I'm aware of in my own practice is just ground, stay calm, relax, like allow yourself to remain in that flow. It's the most substantial way to be a light for people, I would say. Is I know that might seem like resistance or even stubbornness to other people, but because of the life that I've lived, it's like this is my fixed point and I'm committed. I.e., Jackie, that's the thing as well, as far as helping. This is our service to one another. You guys showing up is helping me. Me showing up is helping you. We're here to share from our heart space and move ourselves into this quantum financial system. You know, Alta Love and more businesses and more of us, we are the type of people that when we have lots, we share lots, right? So it's this time that we step into this sort of ideal or sense or feeling of like the meek shall inherit the earth. Most of us here on this level sharing in this way, it's not like we want for much. It's not like we're wanting to build a sort of monstrosity mansion to kind of to sort of I guess run away from our childhood wounds, right? And thus try to prove something to the world because actually we're holding so much unworthiness, right? So that greedy disconnected human is ultimately what we're healing, right? I wonder what the Hey John Beanie, how are you? No, and Jacqueline, I'm really feeling that, right? Watch video explains Nasara. Ah, brilliant. Thank you, Steve Helms. And that's for any of us here, you guys. If any of us are interested in learning more about Nasara and Jasara, which is the reshaping of our global financial systems in benefit in the ideology of people before profit. So this is a system that's going to up level the, I guess, deservingness of the entire population, species, and we can all benefit and kind of ease up a bit, relax a little bit more. It's like trust. It's all being looked after. We're being looked after because we've done this work, because we've made these shifts from within. We've chosen to create a new, more harmonious system. Now we just have to continue to allow it to unfold. Be there for one another, I guess I'll go back, to Jackie's thing. I am crazy manifesting last 6 months. Oh, Jacqueline! Tell me more. Tell me more. I really do. I sort of swing. I swing between sort of conscious manifestation and then also just complete surrender and I guess because I've had so many like ego deaths at this point that I have this awareness within me when my thought projection goes too far away from the present moment and it's not necessarily relevant anymore. And then also because like back in the dizzy when it was all like vision board and like taking cars out for test drives because I was going to manifest me a sweet new car. It's like that level of manifestation has now dissolved for me and like it's like this present quantum field awareness integration oneness like all of my beingness just like supported by this hot love vibrashe and I just practice staying in there and I guess there's this like expectation. I'm like, yeah, and that's what allows your divine life flow force to unfold and manifest in front of you, that I don't even have to try to think the positive thoughts to manifest. It just, oh, MG. And then I'm like, of course, but this is why. And like having a reflection, like Jacqueline being like, I've been manifesting graces this month. I'm like, me too. Like, it's all happening. We're doing it. We're really like shining light into that. And that's us allowing. And then if there is a masculine energy that's like reflective, and so we're continually teaching people, see, it works, you guys, it really works. You just have to think really positive for a long time and deal with your emotional backlog. I call it the karmic backlog. I think it's one of the simplest ways to understand the fact that as beings we're often clearing patterning not just from this life, but we might be clearing this weird irrational emotional stuff from our ancestors, so like our moms and dads gone back, and then also our own karma. So this is when we get maybe visions and imaginative flash memory of like another time, like another. So I had multiple lifetimes where I was tortured and or various things, super duper fun. And then that's the stuff in this lifetime that we're in consciousness with one another's help. It's like we're anchoring, we're basically transforming those energetic densities, i.e. projections, false projections of separation. We're like integrating those into our field, transforming them around, and then projecting out this more light filled reality, right? It's letting go of everything and just expecting the greatest. That's it. That's something I'm aware of recently of like I've been given this opportunity just to really luxuriate, still getting my work done for Ulta Vegan Love. Obviously, I'm still showing up here. Hey Bruce Rhodes, how are you? Yeah, and but and yet and then through all the work and especially healing a lot of like abuse stuff and like for the first time in my life learning about narcissism properly last year. Um and and yet I'm totally aligned with you, Jacqueline, as far as like I can't kind of be bothered to go into the details and like I find it limiting even sometimes to talk too much about it. It's just like let go and just expect life is gonna be amazing. Life is beautiful, and I'm beautiful, and da 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 da. Like, and all the flow is coming in for us to share. Because this is the thing. This is so the effing thing for me personally. Like since way back, since the early awakenings, I'm like I see disparity, and I'm like I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna make loads and loads of money and show everybody what we're meant to do with that money. Share, give it away. And plenty of people do, plenty of pioneers do. But for me, the moving of the needle is actually inspiring that point of attraction in more and more and more and more people. So that we realize there's no healthy efficacy in hoarding, whether we hoard our ideas, whether we hoard our money, whether we hoard our possessions. There's a there's definitely a disease in that point of attraction, I swear. And that is, again, that is the point of attraction of a capitalist, profit driven system. It's we've forgot about ourselves and started chasing an illusion, which which is us being on this hamster wheel, and then slowly but surely some of us going, "Meow," like I'm fucking tired. I think I'm gonna kill myself real quick if I stay on this. And then we jump off, right? Yay, exponential infectious creative inspiration, John. Exactly, and that's what we do, right? That's what we are for one another. You share yours, and like and then we all share, and someone else is making me look at Alamac. I feel like, so if one of you guys are saying Alamac is cool as fuck, I'm like, who's Alamac? Let's go check out another cool as fuck, brother or sister, right? Row, 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 connecting them bridges. Yeah, Stephen, I appreciate that. I feel that like from within, and then I'm like there's quite a few of you who've really helped me in this channel. And then so we're a lot of us, I think part of our function is the bridging. That's been my awareness for a while, right? Yeah, is just this bridging connectivity, even though there's no new grid as it were being anchored in, but it's the energy frequencies which are aligning themselves, hence no fixed grid. That's why it gets corrupted, is if you try to fix it at all over the ages, it has to kind of distort and pop off the earth field. Any overlay grid system on the planet in its cycling through the cosmos will eventually pop off as it aligns with its divinity blueprint. But that's an infinity cycle. So darkness and light, darkness and light, darkness and light. Interesting as is our own. So as is our soul's growth, we also choose to go through this process. I'm still carving a piece of jade. I'm planning on giving away, not sure to who yet. Give it to me. I'm just being straight up. Some of you have sent some lovely things, and I'm so appreciative. It feels so spectacular and special. Although, in fairness, I'm not claiming it, because I feel, Justin, that you might almost be guided. That's how I am a lot of times with crystals and um, more precious things from the heart, that I'll know intuitively I have to give something away, and then it just like happen. It would just like I'll know. I'll be like, "Oh, this is for you." It could be like a stranger as well, right? Um so yeah, right, John Beanie. Exactly. If you can dream it, you can live it. And we are. This is this is the expression of us awakening. What we're awakening from is a dream spell. A kind of spell, a spelling curse. And again, It is what it is, but, like, we're waking up from a spell, and, "Hey, artist sculptor, that is lame as anything. I ordered your book 2 weeks ago and it never arrived. I live in DC. Hey dude, did you order it from Amazon? Can you backtrack it? Can you be like, "Yo, this book never arrived." So we'll see, right? Jessica, hey y'all. We hate the wait, but it really does take time for to feel yourself. It does, and this is why we share. This is why we show up for each other. It's not cut and dry. There's no one way for all of us. In fact, there's billions of ways because we are billions of aspects of the self, completely unique and yet unified in the field of creative potential. And you're right, it's pure feeling. It's just pure our aligning with those resonant connections that then is amplifying frequencies which we're allowing to come into our field and integrate sans resistance, because those in the resistance will definitely be having the most difficult time. And then we'll see mass this is again one of those like more morbid things or lost things, but we'll see mass exitings. We'll see a lot of people decide to leave during these next phases. And this is specific to density. This is specific to the resistance, to those that are kind of like holding on to the old construct, right? Yeah. Well, they veil the truth. That's the kind of cunning sneakiness of all of this, the spiritual warfare. What's going on behind the scenes of our human experience is that it's cunning. The fine print of some of the soul contracts uh that we like indenture into, um for those of us lifting those lids, we're going, enough. You're not doing this to innocent species anymore. You're not doing this to innocent people, i.e. shine the truth, lift it out, shine the truth. That's all there is, right? And the truth is the clearest, cleanest aspect of the self. And that is what allows us to drop into unconditional love. And the unconditional love is ultimately what's saving us. But we were always going to be saved. That's the ultimate story. The emancipation is the inevitable outcome. Our salvation, our liberation is the inevitable outcome. We're just still going through these cycles of, are you responsible? Do you deserve it? Are you desiring of it? Do you really want this? Da, 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 da. We're asking ourselves, we're stepping up to the plate, right? And some of us are just really dropped in and already. We do though, Jessica. I feel you. It's like that is part. It's always going to be a rebound contrast experience. We have to know the resistance. We have to know how resistance feels. We have to know how judgment feels, right? Told me like that of dreams. Interesting. Yay! Hey, artist sculptor. Thank you so much for making a purchase. Keep me posted. I could always send you one. I have a few copies around my house. Um, so if you need me to post you one, I could do that as well for you. No, and well, love can't die. And sorry, I'm going back to Bruce's comment about they kill the truth, but truth and love can't die anyway. You know, the light can't die. You can't kill energy. You can't kill the divine essence of creation. It's never ending. It's this continuum flow. That's this is what we're feeling into, moving into, and why the lingo, the languages that we assume under the veils is going to shapeshift, which is why I short form everything and don't as as like as much as I cannot get too attached to thought at all. Even these this is why it's really interesting actually broadcasting stuff like this, because somebody might email me being like, "So I watched a video and da 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 da," da," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm not really into that anymore," or, "Oh yeah, I mean, I processed that. That's long over," and da da da. Da." Um, so it's nice when you can get to the point of just thought form is just like, I don't know, ingredients for a dish or paint for a canvas. You get to choose. You get to choose. And that's the ultimate aspect of our Christhood, is our ability to choose to be the light and the love heart vibrashe for one another in all context. And when we can't maintain that heart love vibrashe, to do some work and transformation, and or walk away from energy fields that you just know you ain't gonna fucking, you're not gonna get through that, so just walk away from it, and then just keep projecting into the field what it is our heart's desiring, and expect the best to come through, i.e., like Jackie's manifesting like a badass. So we'll take her wise advice from the day. Just let go and expect awesomeness to enter. And that's legit. Let's do that. Let's just all expect the awesome miracles to land in our lap, and then we'll be like, guys, oh! Yeah, Alta Love can just host the most amazing Love Hot Vibration festival ever. Oh, thank you. Blue and orange. And I had, thank you. I res with those two color. Well, I res with all the colors. And I've been told in the past I'm blue and purple. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But thank you. Hey, I'm wondering, one of my good friend Robin yesterday asked me about, or no, he didn't ask me. He was like, there's a star and or planet next to the moon at night, and it's really pretty, but he doesn't know which one it is. And I was like, get one of those sky things and check it out. So I wonder. So okay, so you guys are talking about, like, are you talking about looking at a star in a star system in Andromeda? Okay, cool. Almac. Almac is cool as fuck, you're saying. And that's what you guys were talking about. Just as just as the Holy Spirit has me here with many with love. Yeah. That's it. So in A Course in Miracles, there again we can discern the languages that we use. The Holy Spirit to me is like the higher self, or the intuition, or an aspect of the soul. And the Holy Spirit, the spirit of unity, the one spirit. So that's why when we attune to our intuition is guiding us to the highest potential. We just have 80, 90, 100 years to live it out here. And because we're conditioned by the system that makes us think we're supposed to have all the answers and figure it out by the time we're 18, we all go through a big head fuck trying to sort ourselves out and find our alignment, find our truth, right? Because we're programmed so out of it. We're programmed to deny so much of the truth of who we are, right? So us uncovering is just coming to greater unity, sharing that unity field, which just kind of sparks the memory for people, like, wait a minute, like, I know that energy and I feel that resonance. No, artist sculpture, no. However, sudden change, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that came up for me as well, like a day or two ago, in as far as the sudden change. Um we're still in this phase, and I feel now with greater clarity that the sudden change is going to have a lot to do with the shift from Uranus. So Uranus is going from Aries to Taurus. It's making its final exit out of Aries. And so right now it's in the final degrees, which is why these last few weeks have maybe felt a little heavy, and or like just mind-blowingly intense, or emotionally intense rather. A lot of triggers, a lot of heavy density, a lot of like just needing to rest and just be like, my God, why? Bottoming out, really primordial kind of fears of abandonment, rejection, all the unworthiness stuff, money, relationship stuff, and then the deep loves, which self-worth, love, all of it kind of connects, right? And there's also a real big sense of the creativity piece, is that we want to make sure in truth that we are aligned with creativity. So it's like someone for me is like, I want to talk a lot more about that creativity, that creative elixir en flow, and how that naturally brings in the resources you need. But you don't focus on money. You don't focus on like, I'm going to do this and this for money. No, focus on giving of yourself. Focus on sharing the light that you are, the love that you are. Be vulnerable, share your process, share your ups and downs with people, expose the truth of who you are. That is your service to the world. That is of value to other, because other also wants this awakening to happen, whether they know it or not. And so, like, you sharing that is the truth of that. It's like your gift to the world. That's your highest joy. So as long as we're aligned to that, then we just expect the goods, expect all the right stuff and all the right people and all the blah 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 to just kind of show up. You guys are so beautiful. I just love you guys so much. Oh, and so I will start to finish it here. So artist sculpture, did you receive any more information? So this is us building up to the Uranus and Taurus shift. And some of the most unexpected and sudden changes will be happening between now and next week. And then we'll start to see sudden changes, bah, and then we'll start to see these new codes, these new patterns, but they feel well, the patterns just feel a lot lighter, i.e., we are more integrated, and then that up level of the pattern is now helping the mass to shapeshift that patterning as well. Though to see the new divine blueprints of humanity unfolding in front of them, then that allows for a greater mass exit. So sudden change, really, in its essence, it just means that it's going to come out of left field, and or it's gonna just sort of go, oh, or like actually really not what we expected at all, and but it's coming in and it's redirecting us, and or shocking us out of a pattern, or of a um something that we don't even know we're resisting, because we're just so used to the resistance. So those, again, a lot of the planetary shifts that happen, they they most impact the people who carry the most resistance. Those of us who have now become more accustomed to living on flow, to allowing, to just accepting that even when shitty times happen, that we're going through something, that we're going to get through it, and we're going to end up way better off. So those of us who have that deeper sense of compassion, and i.e., we've relinquished and worked through a lot of our control patterns, which are born out of that systematic control domination programming. And then, yeah, hey Sanav, how are you? So the more of us kind of living on flow, it's like the control structure doesn't have anything to hook into anymore. Like if we're being controlled, we're like, okay, we will do what we're told. We'll be slaves. We will do all that. Then we keep it in place. As soon as we again stand in our power, call out the bluff of the slave system. Just stand in it, call out the bluff, and say, no, no, this world will be much better served if we become the true creative beings that we're designed to be, rather than feeding a system of control domination, which feeds a very select few malevolent energies. And as soon as we integrate, as soon as we own our power, we can integrate. It's like sucking back that malevolent energy into our beingness, so that we can stand down. We can stand in that darkness as the light, as one. You guys are awesome. Aldebaran is the bright red star closest to the moon. I'm going to tell my friend that. Artist sculpture. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. As far as the sudden change goes, you can always email me, share stuff if it's coming up for you, if anything resonates, if anything makes manifest. Oh, interesting. So I have intel about the moon, but I'm still sitting with it, um, about the moon's function, and the potential distortion. But this is to do with any astrology, any area of study. I say this for myself as well, of like, to not give our power away, um, to it, and yet understand the significance of, especially, I would say, in my resonance field, like the larger planetary shifts, transits that happen, those larger celestial bodies are very much connected to the sway of movement, i.e., the ushering of this awakening. That is the really reflected back by those bigger, larger planetary movements, and yet we still don't give our power away. We, as the beingness, like the oneness creator, we're just using that as guideposts to help, but we're still projecting into the field. We're still projecting our love, our vision into the field, knowing that the planets support us in that endeavor, especially as it comes from right action. And so the piece about the moon is just for some reason, I get this sense that at some point in the Earth's trajectory, we lose the moon. I know that seems maybe weird. It's like we don't that the moon is like a weirdly, it's like our sister during the darkness, and that as we move into greater alignment with our sun, the moon's efficacy falls away. The darkness, the corruption, the hidden aspects fall away. Yes, that's where they suck your energy and feed it back into the matrix system. Yeah, quite easily, right? And so, well, and I don't want to give it too much false moon. Well, and they talk about the dark side of the moon as well, and what lives in the dark side of the moon, and that's connected to aspects of darkness that are going on here, shadiness, veils, hidden things. And so we plant our light force and our divinity here on the planet through the integrity of our beingness and connection to the totality of all that is, because we are that, and then we project in the desired state, and we can speak it into existence, and or we just allow it to be. I'm aligned with Jacqueline in that, as far as like, just expect the best, you guys, because you know the universe and it knows you because you are it. Such a funny thing, isn't it, this stuff? Anywho, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm loving these morning chats with all of you. So much appreciation for you. Thank you for buying the book. Like, it means so much to me, you guys. So yeah, have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to speaking to you guys tomorrow morning, right? Ooh. Bruce Rhodes, thank you for being here. All of you, thank you for your comments and sharings today. Um, yeah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Peace out, you guys. Enjoy your day.